Hey, I'm John Landis, host of the Apprenticeship Woodworking instructional videos here on YouTube with yet another tool review. Not tool review in the normal sense of the word. We're not going to take a brand of tool and let you know how good or bad it is, but instead, I'm looking at the tools in my shop and going over what they're used for and then trying to give you some advice as to whether or not you want this tool in a shop that you're trying to outfit in your garage, in your basement, wherever. The number 2 on my list of tools that you're going to want to get if you're going to take this woodworking seriously and go a little further with it is a jointer. Now, the purpose of a jointer is to take an unflat board, and these are boards whether you're going to get them from, say, a home center, that they've been milled at a home center, but they're not necessarily flat. You could go to a lumber supplier in your area, and you're definitely going to get rough sawn lumber, much like this board here. This is a walnut board that has come off of whatever kind of saw they were using at the mill. So this is rough sawn here. Not only is it rough, but it's also not flat at all. It moves back and forth. So a jointer takes an unflat face and puts a flat face on it, which you definitely want. Furthermore, if you take it and put it against the fence, it can give you a flat, straight edge. The way it works is you have an in-feed table and an out-feed table, both in the same plane. The in-feed table sits below the out-feed table by a little bit. And in between the two tables is a rotating head of blades. When you pass your lumber over the blades, it misses the low spots but takes off the high spots and references the outfeed table to give you a flat edge. You go over it enough times and you end up taking a board that's not flat at all, like that, and you create a nice flat edge like that. That's what you're looking for at the beginning of every project. Now, after you flatten the board, the other great thing that a jointer is used for is to give you a nice, straight, flat edge on a board. Now, typically we go with 90 degrees, of course, but this fence has the capability of tilting and can give you really any degree that you're looking for, but typically we go with 90 degrees. Now, different than referencing the table while we're trying to flatten a board, we reference the fence when we're trying to put a nice straight edge on the board. Again, this straight edge is going over the blade, and if you have a hump, it's going to take off the high spots but completely miss the low spots. So as you're going over it, this is going to become straighter and straighter till finally you have a nice straight edge. Why would you want a straight edge? Well, you're going to need one for gluing up panels to make small boards bigger. You're going to want a nice straight edge to give you a parallel opposite edge on the table saw. This particular jointer is only an 8-inch jointer. It's not a monster. I mean, I've seen jointers 24 inches. 12 inches is not out of the norm, and 6 inches is what the sort of entry-level jointer is. Mine is just an 8-inch jointer. Over my 25-year career, there have been opportunities and times where I wish I had a little bit bigger of a jointer, but the increased cost in that and the maintenance on a 12-inch jointer greatly increases, so that I've been happy with the 8-inch jointer for most of my 25-year career. Do you need a jointer in your shop? No. There are other ways to flatten a board. Do you want a jointer in your shop? Yes, if you can afford it. A jointer like this, an 8-inch jointer, and a good one, probably around $2,000. You can get smaller ones, and if, again, as we covered in the table saw, you're doing smaller projects or you know that you're not going to branch into large pieces of furniture or cabinetry, a 6-inch jointer would be perfectly appropriate for you, possibly even a tabletop version. But again, as with the table saw, the smaller you get with the tool, the less versatile it is. It's going to be too light. You're not going to be able to joint large boards on it. It's maybe not going to be as precise as you need a jointer to be. Somewhere in the 6 to 8-inch range on a jointer is going to be appropriate. Again, spend the money in this area because this tool will last a lifetime. So go ahead and do that. Again, do you need a tool? Do you need the jointer? No. Should you get the jointer? Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. We'll cover another one next time. Thanks.